God.
That woman was 98 years old. And it's my son.
The police in Wadsworth, Ohio never could have...
Okay, I'm gonna get the food so that...
Whoa, he paused it. Respect. He didn't just let it play. Excuse, it's the juicer McGooser.
have expected that their investigation into another local crime would lead them to the key to solving the mystery behind her death and the nightmarish things that were done to her body afterwards. The deranged motive behind the unthinkable crime would leave the offender's family, as well as the police, in shock. The nightmare started when a man called the police to report that his car had been stolen. Much of what he reported was a lie, but would still lead to a truth so disturbing it would stick with the investigators for the rest of their careers. When police brought a 17-year-old Gavin Ramsey into the station on April 13, 2018, to talk about breaking curfew and the increase of crimes in his neighborhood,
genius.
They had no idea what they were getting into. Gavin was accompanied by his mother, Chris, and the police informed them both that he was not under arrest and could leave at any time. Some of the following footage has never been seen before.
Gavin, does your mom know why you're here?
I think for the most part, yeah.
He said he climbed on top of the church.
Yeah.
So there's got to be more to that story because I wouldn't be going down here and picking up at school if that's what he did.
The police were already well acquainted with Gavin. Lately, he appeared to have made a habit of going out at night to get up to all manner of mischief. This time, Gavin told a story about secretly meeting up with his friend, Braden.
We weren't really doing anything. And then we went over to the church and climbed on top. And then we went, into the courtyard, but that's all we did.
Nah, you did more. Unfortunately, you guys have left behind some very telling items, okay? If we're going to get to the bottom of this, let's just make it the truth all at once and deal with it and get it done.
You're 17.
Yeah. You're a kid, so you're not looking at
He's
as much
lucky.
trouble.
The officer might come to regret this comment once she uncovers the full extent of Gavin's crimes. For now, all the police knew
means he
was
can't
that
go to
Gavin
prison.
had been out after his curfew, but that was barely scraping the surface. Since he was staying rather tight-lipped, they also attempted to get the story from his friend, Braden.
Your phone.
Yes.
Where do you think you left it?
Huh, that's pretty sus.
That I have no idea.
You sissy backa.
Just out walking around. I forget the officer's name, but somebody stopped me and I talked to him for a little bit. I guess he was out looking for somebody.
Who were you walking around with?
Nobody.
There was a very good reason the police were out looking for someone. They had no idea how close they'd come to catching their culprit that night.
Are you missing a lighter?
Mm-mm.
No? Would you be surprised if I told you that there was a lighter with your phone?
God, something
Honestly,
doesn't add up here.
Gavin and Braden had a problem. In addition to the phone and lighter left at the church, the police also had security footage of the boys. When Braden
Something
was
doesn't add up
confronted
here.
with this, his story changed.
If you just want to be honest with me, that would be great. And if not, I can just say that you said you were
You're done, buddy.
nowhere near, and here's the video.
Okay. I appreciate, I guess, the straight upness. I do, honestly. I was out with a friend.
What?
We were just messing around, and I'm not exactly sure what church that is, but we decided to get up on top of the roof, and then
React harder,
we
XQC. React
drove
harder.
down to see if one of the doors were open, and then there's sort of a silent alarm, not really silent, we heard it. We saw an officer walking from the church, and then we ran
Weird
from
champ.
him.
So was that Gavin's green lighter then, or yours?
Green lighter, that would be Gavin's.
When he found out Braden was talking to police, Gavin confirmed the story about the alarm. This would be the first in a series of confessions he would make over the coming days.
I didn't even know what was going off because we were over by the windows and they were already cracked open. And we were just messing with them. They were honestly cracked open. I'm not lying anymore.
This immediately raises the question of what else Gavin had lied about.
You'd think that would be enough to scare the bejeebies out of you and go home. Were you guys going to hide in the trailer?
No.
What else are you not telling us?
I poked my knife behind like the
The
little
heebie-jeebies,
cement
guys.
and
Cement.
popped it out.
Why were you guys gonna go in there?
I don't know, we honestly had nothing to do. And me and Brayden together, we know it's not good, but I don't know, we're good friends, we just hang out.
According to Gavin's mother, her son wasn't supposed to be hanging out with Brayden. This restriction didn't appear to have the intended effect, but that would soon be inconsequential compared to what else Gavin had been up to.
You guys do anything else in the area?
No.
So you guys didn't go into any cars? You know what? It would make me feel a lot better now if it was just the two of you that went into the cars.
Yeah.
You know, because of the other issue in the area. I'm sure.
I didn't even know there was a car issue there.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You guys didn't. Now would be the time to tell, okay? Because we processed the cars, we did fingerprints and DNA. He's been in trouble. I would assume you were with him at Central Intermediate
Yes.
School.
Yes.
So your DNA is
Oh,
on
yeah.
file as well. So that's all going to come up. If it's you guys, for goodness sakes, it's just rummaging through cars and nothing was even taken that they could tell. We've had a lot of goings on in your neighborhood lately. And probably more than the general public is aware. That's
I'm
for sure.
I'm sure.
More than one incident. Yeah, so more than one incident. So,
Okay.
unfortunately, we're trying to see if, they're all related.
Right.
The most extreme recent crime in the area came to the attention of police just a week earlier when they received a troubling call, which would kick off a case more disturbing than anyone could have anticipated. At first, they never imagined it was connected to Gavin's nighttime mischief, but would come to find that the cases were inextricable.
Watcher Police.
Yes, this is Howard Leisure. My aunt lives on Portage Street,
Okay.
and a friend of ours stopped over there yesterday to check on her, and she was nowhere to be found. We didn't know if you'd found anybody wandering.
No, we don't have any reports of anybody wandering.
We can't find her in the house anywhere. He went in the house and looked through the whole house, couldn't find her. We don't know where she's at. She's 98 years old.
Did she live
Whoa.
there by herself?
She lives there by herself, yes.
What's her name?
Margaret
Oh
Douglas.
no.
And she never locks her house.
Okay.
She doesn't drive. She doesn't have a car. And I checked with what relatives I had phone numbers for, and nobody's heard from her or picked her up. So
Okay.
This was
Almost level
obviously
100,
worrying,
guys.
But Margaret's
Almost.
disappearance would only become more harrowing as the search got underway. When the police were chatting with Gavin in the first of two interviews, they attempted to uncover what else he might have gotten up to on recent nights.
I'm guessing this isn't the first time yet.
Well, no, like we've snuck out in the past before, but since I've got in trouble, this most recent one, like without the law, I haven't really snuck out at all.
When was this recent time that he got in trouble on?
He has not had any freedom at all. I mean, he literally goes to work and home probably 3 months because he makes that.
Is he gonna start crying?
And we don't want that for our kids. So he literally has no life.
At least that's what Chris thought. She clearly had no idea just how busy her son had been. Police had unwittingly started the process of uncovering the
Which is
truth
a
of
disaster.
Gavin's activities the
So
previous
it's her
week.
job to know,
when
but
talking
okay.
to Margaret
Sussy.
Douglas's nephew, Howard. Desperate to find his aunt and willing to help in any way he could, Howard and his wife Cindy
Sussy,
went to the
sussy,
police
sus.
station to answer questions.
So when was the last time you guys were there?
That was, I'm thinking it was a Tuesday in March 27th, I think it might have been.
Anything that anybody said?
It set off an alarm, no.
Margaret bothered me. That's why it's so just horrible. She would keep him hard asleep.
And so this past Sunday.
John,
David called.
hold on. There's no chance in hell, not in a million, that I could get out and come back to the house without getting noticed my entire childhood, all the way until I was like 18, 19. It was no fucking shot. The fact this person knows that her kid has got into trouble and isn't allowed to go out and shouldn't be going out, whatever. The fact that she doesn't know and it's happening, is disastrous parenting, and any other thing you're gonna type in chat is pure cope, and I'm not standing for that.
David,
I'm over it.
who had grown up next door to
Shit
Margaret
parenting.
and her
I'm good,
late
bro.
husband, was the couple's friend and caretaker. The police would need to talk to him too, sooner rather than later. During Gavin's first interview, things got progressively more disturbing as well, but police could never have guessed that his tale would eventually become a full-blown horror story.
Did you rummage through glove boxes or anything? Yeah. And you didn't take not even change or anything?
Maybe like 50 cents, but other than that, seriously nothing.
What'd you do if someone did that to my car? Like, that's so upsetting and scary.
I understand that, but it's really their own fault for not locking.
Yeah, I don't lock mine half the time.
We lock yours every day.
What is?
What's the point? It's not.
Yo, this guy is. Wait, hold on.
Other than that, seriously nothing.
What'd you do if someone did that to my car? Like, that's so upsetting and scary.
I understand that, but it's really their own fault for not locking.
Yeah, I don't lock mine half the time.
We lock yours every day.
It's not the point. It's not yours.
Gavin's crimes would only escalate from this point on. The previous week, with no idea that they were working on a connected case, the police met with Margaret's friend David. What he told them would prove to be invaluable, though it was far from reassuring.
And I came up Sunday, and on 4:30.
What did I miss, guys?
The 3 newspapers on the front porch. So I knocked on the door and then opened it.
What did I miss?
Locked her door.
Margaret
Common
Douglas.
knowledge that her front door was
Rest in
not locked?
peace.
I don't think so. I know we never told anybody. I wouldn't want anybody to know something like that, you know.
David walked through
Also,
every
who
room
checks
in the
fucking
house,
house doors,
including
dude?
the basement, but couldn't find Margaret, where she
I'm gonna
was
be honest with
ultimately
you,
found would
I never
sicken
lock
and
my
outrage
doors.
everyone
Don't come
who cared
and
about
rob
her.
me.
During the
Yo.
first conversation,
Yo, this whole fucking criminal coping mindset you have, listen, is like probably some dog shit middle of the city.
Don't come and break into my house.
Okay, a lot of suburbs and places that are out in the outskirts and shit like that, people don't lock their doors and shit, and it rarely is a problem. What
True.
are you talking
I'm
about?
too lazy.
People don't go and try the doors, dude. Like, are you insane?
with Gavin, which took place a week after Margaret's disappearance, it
XCC,
became
you're so
obvious
privileged.
that he'd been up to
XCC's
far worse
so
things
out
than
of
he
touch.
initially let on.
We had a carjacking,
Oh my God.
and the suspect is a young white male.
I hope
with a
XCC
nice
locks his doors.
complexion And blue eyes. Is that you?
No, it's not me. I wouldn't know the first thing about jacking a car.
The proximity of the crimes was more than slightly suspicious, and the police likely believed Gavin was still holding back. They had unknowingly drawn closer to the heart of Gavin's dark
Gavin.
secrets when Margaret's friend David recounted not being able to find her. Little did anyone know that this would be the lead-up to a stomach-churning discovery.
Kevin, reveal your
One
sussy
called
plans.
Howard, her nephew, to see if they came up, because they come up and take grocery shopping every 2 weeks, like salt. See if they took grocery shopping. No, he said no, they hadn't.
When Howard still couldn't reach Margaret the next morning, he went to the house in person. Meanwhile, David also...
Dude, look at this nice house, man. Like 98 years old, dude. She's just chilling, like end of life, trying to fucking benefit from the things that she worked for when she was younger. Just chilling out, and it's by a pretty chill neighborhood too. Like,
reach
it's
Margaret
just
the
fucking
next
brain
morning.
dead and twisted
He
down.
went to the house in person. Meanwhile, David also called some of Margaret's other friends and neighbors, but they hadn't heard
Old people
from her
love
either.
those flowers. They always have so many flowers in their houses.
Were you making those calls on your cell phone?
No, I made it on her phone there on the desk. It's the old style phone.
Oh, the rotary phone?
Antique.
Yeah, the rotary phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Collector's
All I
item.
had.
You don't want to use that digital phone?
Well,
I
it was
lagged.
in bracket
Okay.
where she kept it.
The innocuous observations made by Howard and his wife.
I know we weren't able to find her wallet and checkbook. Can you describe her wallet to me?
Her wallet is red. It's about, I would say rectangle. I would say maybe 4 inches in width.
Do you remember the location of the heater when you were there?
Oh yeah, it was right smack in front of the closet door.
Okay.
And actually that thought hit my mind when they asked me to look for her coat. And I went over there and I thought, why did Margaret put that heater in front of the closet door?
The odd placement of the heater would come up again later. Perhaps the strangest thing was a jar of blackberry jam in Margaret's living room. There would turn out to be a sick reason it was there, but nobody
way.
knew that yet. Gavin's second interview, however,
secret
would
master
eventually
plan.
tell all. After searching the house twice and finding no sign of Margaret, Howard and Cindy decided it was time to call the police. When they arrived, Howard helped them search the house yet again, which is when the case took a turn. During their first conversation with Gavin, the police brought up the terrible results of that search.
There's no reason for me to fluff anything up.
Nope.
And I'm sure you guys know about the elderly woman that was found.
Oh my God, that was horrifying. That was horrifying. It is horrifying.
Did you know her at all?
No, other than just to see her out, like on a porch, that actually makes me want to cry. Like, how do you get to be 98 years old?
You're kind of
Nobody
sussy,
lives to
mommy.
be 98. It's so rare. And someone else thought that that
With
was
that
okay.
autism
Like,
shirt.
how does that? I don't know. Like, why does your life end like that?
That's right. Margaret lived just around the corner from Gavin. Tragically, she'd been found deceased. She'd been strangled and her body hidden inside her own home. But the most horrifying facts of what was done to her body after death were not yet known. The answer of who was twisted enough to commit such a crime would hit far closer to home
Psychopath.
than anyone anticipated.
And then I'd get all scared. I'm like, oh my God, I have all my porch lights on now, and I have stranger danger issues.
You created
The
a
irony of
monster.
Chris's stranger danger issues would not be lost for long.
I can't imagine you doing something like that. I just interacting with you this little bit. I can't imagine that's in your wheelhouse.
No.
But there was so much about Gavin that nobody knew, including his capacity for unspeakable cruelty.
Psychopath.
Did you get put in a bad situation? Did somebody put you in a bad situation?
No.
No?
Yeah, let's get it this way.
He's losing it.
Honesty is always what's best.
I'm not holding anything back. Like,
Because you've already gotten yourself in trouble, so.
I know, and I don't even. I don't know what to say.
Is there more?
Is he about to
Because you know
confess?
all
No,
comes out.
it's not.
He's about to
that there's
confess.
anything more. It's what the, dude.
Oh, GG.
Somebody get him Yayoma. Yayoma.
Well,
Better call
what
Yayoma.
happens in the dark comes out in the light. That's the way it works. You mess up, you get caught. You make bad choices, you're gonna pay for it. So if there's something else, let's get it all out on the table. So that we know
Yeah,
what
we
we
lost.
It's not anything else. It's. I don't know. I'm mad at myself. I'm so mad at myself.
What are you so mad at yourself for?
I was 16 and already had a felony, like 5 misdemeanors, and now I'm gonna be in more trouble. I have to go back to court, and I'm done with it. I'm so done with it. Dude, I'm
It's like this mom doesn't care that her son is a criminal. That's so weird.
Probably never made either of them proud. I don't do anything.
She's so calm.
Stop cussing.
You didn't take anybody's car?
Dude, it's harsh. It's
Like-
harsh, but a good understanding of consequences growing up, all that pain that will cause a person will prevent you from all that pain and shit. That's just kind of how it is. That's what good parenting is. It's what it is.
Have you ever used an app
Yeah,
called
this is bad
Grindr?
parenting, guys. I think. Is this guy
How do
fatherless?
you feel about gay people?
I'm not gay.
Oh, that's okay.
What?
They don't bother you?
No, nobody bothers me.
This might seem like a strange line of questioning, But there's a very good reason the detective is asking this question. It likely evoked a feeling of dread for Gavin, as it means that the police know far more than they've been letting on. Earlier, the police kept trying to determine what could have motivated someone to kill Margaret in such an atrocious manner.
So you guys didn't argue.
No.
She wasn't.
Why are you gay?
Yeah, I'm gonna say one thing.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, I know nothing, but I feel like they could have done a better job out of getting more before they would let on information that it's what they're asking about.
Think of anybody that would want to hurt her or that would gain.
That was pretty quick.
The detective once again pushed harder for answers from Gavin, leading him to make an unexpected request.
Is there something else you need to tell us?
He is secretly part of the...
What's upsetting you so much?
Okay.
The detective clearly hit on something.
Okay. Let me do this one more time before I'm gonna stop pausing. Okay. Even if there's a video, it doesn't matter. Everything is very important when you're gonna get a conviction. Okay. From motive, from context, everything that they can get, they should get them, because it'll all go into it all comes into play. You understand? So, was it premeditated?
XQC has so
Something
much
that they planned
experience.
Uh-huh.
Before? Something that happened? Something that escalated? Is it whatever? If they get every possible thing to build up, even though this guy probably thinks if this isn't about this crime, yeah, I can say well, we're doing this, we're doing that, whatever, and then they can make that build up, and they can let more on it. That's what it is.
Honestly, can you two actually leave for a second?
What's that?
Can you two actually leave?
Yeah.
Knowing what had happened to Margaret, Gavin's mother was likely terrified of what her son didn't want to say in front of her. As it turns out, she had good reason to be concerned. Gavin was also unable to hide his emotions in the interrogation room, but this didn't stop him from giving the detective at least one of the answers she wanted, finally addressing
He's
the
guilty.
previous question about meeting up with someone from Grindr. But this was only one of the many secrets she would convince Gavin to spill.
I'm sure they've got
Scott.
No, not true. That's the worst thing you can think about.
I knew it. You are sassy.
Appeal to authority,
it was
fallacy.
me, I'm gonna be honest about it, but the way that he explained it, that guy, that's not right. That Grindr thing, yeah, I have been on it. And this guy was like the first time that this happened, and I told him, like, I was 17 and everything, and I wasn't planning on doing anything with him. It's not my style. I was just, like, he's a 40-year-old man trying to get with a 17-year-old, so I was just gonna rob him. It's still messed up, but against what he's doing,
hell?
I really think it is.
What
And
the
then
hell, man?
The whole carjacking thing, I never even left Overlook.
This world
I
is
literally,
rotten.
Like, I got in, and he's like, what, should we go to the back seat? I'm like, yeah, sure. So he got out. I sit and locked the doors, and hopped in the driver's seat and just drove around, messed with him, and then I left.
Do you have his wallet?
No, that's because I kept asking him, like, I cracked the window of the car, like, 'cause he walked up, doors go out, everything. I'm like, where's your wallet? And he's like, I don't have it. So then, I opened his glove box and all that. And I'm like, well, show me your pockets. And he's like, I don't have it, but can I have my phone? I'm like, no. And then I turned and he, like, tried to grab the window and, like, break it. And then I gassed it and he walked, and that's when he left Overlook. And then I went up to, like, where the dumpsters are. You know where that white van is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's where I left the car, and I just went over.
Gavin added that he threw the man's phone out the window shortly before he abandoned the car, then blocked the man on Grindr. Believe it or not, all of this would be connected to Margaret's death in the coming days.
How?
I don't even have the app anymore. I deleted it after that night. I
Wait,
didn't want to say that.
wait, the app can let you match somebody that's 40 as a 70-year-old?
17.
Are you gay?
No, that's not it. Like, I didn't have any plans to do anything.
He faked his age.
What was he thinking was going to happen?
Okay, so obviously this guy's lying then, because what we're saying is that this guy lied about his age to 18, and then he's saying that, oh, this 40-year-old is trying to get with a 17-year-old or whatever, but he's the one that lied, so it doesn't even make sense.
I mean,
Was there an act that you guys agreed upon?
not.
How
really,
could he know he was
no,
lying?
just, like, NSA. I didn't even know what that meant, but it means no strings attached.
Okay. Did he touch you at all? Did you touch him at all?
No.
Why would
Are you
want
sure about that?
Really, just for that reason, to find guys that are that low of people, I guess.
That want to get with kids?
Like, it's karma, really.
Right.
Is that
Like, if
common
you're
on
gonna do
Grindr?
that, then I'm gonna rob you.
The carjacking would
man.
be completely
Feel like he's lying.
overshadowed by what else Gavin
Lie
had
me,
done.
Out of all things you can admit to, I mean, guys, I listen. You can say whatever you want about morals, whatever the fuck, but that's terrible for this. He probably thinks this play is good for him. That's the most established motive you can get. He's just laying it all out for free.
The police got a hint of the madness to come while searching Margaret's home, though they couldn't have imagined the nightmare they had uncovered.
You didn't hurt that old lady, did you?
Premeditated,
No,
intentional.
That's what I was pissed about.
What were you pissed about?
Brother, just get Yayoma.
And I see people abusing me of killing girls. And that's, like, I
What?
just said some dark stuff and everything. And, like,
What?
I don't know, people know. Like, I'm a dark person, I guess, but, like, I'm not gonna go kill somebody. It's not
Stop
like
the
that.
cap!
But people are they're like, oh, you killed her, didn't you? I really do.
I sentence you to electrocution chair.
So people are saying it?
Yeah, and that's, it's making me really mad. It really is.
Womp
There's
womp.
no reason that we would find your DNA in.
Dude, and nobody's fucking. Oh, and nobody's calling the police or some shit like that. Nobody's giving tips or whatever. They're just everybody's just fucking. What is going on over there?
Because we swabbed the hell out of that house.
You shouldn't.
Womp
What do you
womp.
think should happen to somebody that does that?
That kill someone?
Kills a 98-year-old woman.
I don't know. I think eye for an eye is the best way to go. That's how I look at things. Eye for an eye.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, I will give them your name and let them know your DNA is on file, and they can rule you out. Okay, when we get a DNA profile. Would that help you?
I mean, what, for, like, the lady? I mean, that doesn't bother me.
Braden's DNA was also on record and would be compared to the crime scene. Howard, Cindy, and David all agreed to provide the police with DNA samples and fingerprints so they could be ruled out as suspects.
I'm sure your mom's standing out there freaking out.
Yeah, she probably thinks I'm confessing to murder. She's been in here so long.
Just 3 days later, this remark would be cast in a chilling new light.
Why would you even hear about an app like that? Why would you even do that?
I don't know. Like I said, Mom, I don't know why I do anything that I do.
That sounds all vigilante crazy to me. That's what that sounds like. So that will get forwarded also, and then God only knows what that charge is going to look like.
No. It sounds like being a fucking criminal, flat out, lady. Like what?
It sounds like you created a monster.
Well, she's downplaying some shit. Right? This lady is cooked.
And
She's the
you
mom
start
though,
to
so it's expected.
get pretty worried about what's happening, especially with the escalation of.
Yeah.
So, if there's something else or somebody else that you know is out there doing stupid crap,
Yeah.
keep it on the down low. I will. Your name won't cross my lips, but I need to get to the bottom of what happened to this poor woman.
While Gavin assured the detective that he'd told her everything, the bulk of his secrets had not yet been spilled. Unaware of what her son had done, Chris permitted the police to search Gavin's phone. With that, they left the police department. When it came to the phone,
You
the
let them check your
investigators were
phone?
mainly looking for anything about the carjacking. Instead, they
You
found
consent to
something
that?
completely unexpected. It was awful enough that two detectives rushed to the Ramsey house to place him under arrest. Take note that he was made aware of his Miranda rights as soon as he was seated in the police car.
When you had your mom leave the room the other day, were you going to tell me this?
No, this was the subject. I thought about it, but I didn't know what to do.
Did you know I'd be coming to see you after we got your phone?
I figured. As soon as I heard the knock on the door, I honestly, if my boots were tied, I think I would.
Guys.
When the detective ushered Gavin into the video-recorded interrogation room, his distress was obvious.
I'll be right back in, okay?
So this guy is a psychopath, killer, monster, murderer, but he's 17 years old. Does he deserve the death penalty? Does he? I don't know. Technically, he's not an adult, right?
That's still the same guy, right? That's not the other guy, is it?
How many years in jail? Comment down below. Uh-oh, he's using his super ultimate attack. I was in a dark place crying.
You sure I can't get you a drink?
I wonder how many years in jail they're gonna get, since they're not adults. They're kids. Womp womp.
And telling me about it doesn't give you much relief.
Just change the fact that it ruined my life.
I never know why they do one man. They let 1v1 in the room like that. I feel like it's really risky. Like, why would you even let a potential killer
I know why.
one-on-one with somebody who's like not physically fit like that? Why not just get somebody in there? Like always 2-on-1. That's like dude.
It's to build rapport. They'll be too anxious to speak if there's two of them.
He's cuffed. Dude, you potentially have a psycho killer insane person. Potentially, this guy's been playing all along. Guy could fucking reach over her neck with his cuffs and just fucking choke her to death.
To build intimacy, XQC.
And you didn't take anything from the house. Like I said before, it doesn't make a difference either way.
I mean, what other crime can I commit that would really matter at this point?
Grandpa?
Thing I'm breathing. Feel more comfortable.
There we go, a 2v1.
Do you want to take these off of your food? That's up to you guys. You want?
I don't mind. I'm not worried about you.
A little more comfortable, you know what I'm saying?
Once Gavin was uncuffed, the detective set
Johnny
about filling
Sins.
in the specifics of the gruesome yet patchy tale Gavin shared on the drive to the station. The truth was about to come out once and for all, but each detail would make it more horrific than anyone could have imagined.
Did you go in the house initially just to steal something? Just, honestly, all I did was I wanted the adrenaline rush. Oh, just going into a house. Something. Yeah. So that's why I broke into the cars and stuff, is that risk factor. And all I've ever done is take risks, because that's the only thing that makes me... That's your drug? Adrenaline? Yeah, like, I don't know, I think it feels...
A shiny bald
when
head.
I have adrenaline, it's like, alright, you feel alive.
Guys, am I balding?
Not like there's meaning to you. I don't know about meaning, but you understand, like, you feel like yeah, it feels different. It's like, I don't know how to explain.
They're playing good cop. Good cop.
I guess.
This tied back to something unsettling Gavin had said in the car on the way to the police station.
The adrenaline is the only thing that makes me feel like I'm even alive.
Like when you met up with the guy with the car, is that adrenaline? Yes.
Gavin continued his story, and he revealed that his meeting with the man from Grindr hadn't gone quite like he previously said.
And there was
Bro, you can get adrenaline in a lot of ways that are cheap or cost nothing or have like no like risk of going to jail. Like what?
Physical stuff that went on between the two of you in the car, right?
Yeah. First time. Officially, I guess. Yeah. This stuff happened when I was younger. It wasn't voluntary for me.
You just weren't sure. Like when you got there, it's kind of like
There's no kind of adrenaline. There's adrenaline. That's it. I mean, there is kinds, but not like you think it is.
Freaked me out a little bit.
What freaked you out? Your reaction to it or him?
I don't know, just once I realized I was in the back of the car with some guy.
So you realized it was just crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't want to be part of it anymore.
Had you met anybody on Grindr before?
I had, yeah, before.
So your whole intention of going in the house was just the adrenaline of being in somebody's house.
Yeah, I didn't even want to rob the house.
It was just the sneaky thrill of can I get in somebody's house and get out and get away with it.
Yeah, but
Free my
if the
boy.
door was locked, I would have just walked away. The whole
The boy in question.
breaking into the house, that was the adrenaline part. I think I didn't even have a grip on reality whenever I did that.
You can probably guess whose house Gavin entered. As terrifying as this was,
The
what
sweet
he
old
did
lady.
next was truly mind-boggling.
I didn't know whose house it was at first until
You saw her. And you knew she knew you.
Had you talked to her before? I know we discussed this a couple times, but
just doing the
Watch him come up with excuses. It's not my fault. It wasn't my fault.
on the shovel jackets and stuff.
It was an
You
accident.
know, when I was actually doing something good.
and nobody was with you this night, and you've not told anybody about this.
Queen Elizabeth.
Was it dark when you went to the house? No lights on it?
None at all?
Well, no, there was the lamp that was on.
Were you in her house for a little while before you woke her up?
I mean, I came up onto the porch, and I didn't even know what I was gonna do. And I looked in the window and everything. I don't know, I felt like going into a house is like the biggest adrenaline rush I could get, I guess. So then I tried the doorknob, and that just happened to be unlocked.
Was it the front door or back door?
Or back door. Well, she was already asleep whenever I went in, because when I came around the corner, that's where I saw her, and it scared me.
Oh, he
I
knew.
didn't expect to see someone right there, so I didn't hear anything. So I came in, like, I opened the door, and I just listened. And then I didn't hear anything, so maybe nobody saw me. And then I go to walk around that corner, like I'm still going slow, but I see her, and she's, I don't know, like sleeping or something. And then I go to turn around and hit the chair.
Yeah, lock your doors, yeah.
Made a
And having a
noise,
pet,
she woke up.
a dog helps out a bunch too.
And she started to scream at that point, you said?
Yeah, because like when I hit the chair, I like turned back around.
Even a little rat.
And I looked, and she
If he
was
barks
there,
like that,
staring
he's
at me and
getting
started
out.
to yell.
Oh,
And then went for the
I thought he
phone.
meant a real rat.
Charity.
A pet rat.
What it looked like.
Was that when you were trying to get the phone away from her so she couldn't call? Did you not like get away, or was that when you guys fought with the phone?
It was like a little bit of a fight, I think. I think I threw it under the couch. I'm not really sure.
Why did he do it?
By the time I even realized what I was doing, it was too late to stop anything.
And then, I mean, you realized that's when you were on the floor on top of her with your hands on her and stuff. That's when
This dude really did an MMA fight
Gavin
against
showed the police an injury on his
98-year-old.
hand, where Margaret's nails dug into his arm. He had other
Well, she
scrapes
put a
on
good
his
fight.
hands, but claimed these were unrelated. Margaret never stood a chance in the fight against Gavin, which likely made her final moments even more horrendous.
Fuck!
So when she died, was she on the couch or on the floor?
Floor.
Were you on top of her then?
Kind of.
Like straddling her?
What was on this loser, man?
Yeah.
And did you use one hand or both?
Both.
push her against the floor, or both?
Oh,
And you said you don't remember if she was bleeding at that point.
the only reason I can think of bleeding is when I put my hand over her mouth.
So when you were holding her hand over her mouth, you might have pushed too hard and maybe made her nose bleed.
Yeah.
The detectives knew Gavin had skipped over several particularly nauseating details, but those would eventually come out too.
Don't tell me he started
So how long
eating
do you
the
think you
body
were in
too.
the house before you woke her up?
Nauseating details.
So probably like 10, 15 minutes.
And then from the time you woke her up to the time you ended up on top of her, choking her, how long did that whole part take?
Probably like 5 minutes.
Was she like fighting back with you then, trying to struggle, and then you guys went down?
Yeah. I think on her way down is when we got ripped.
But you don't remember ripping her panties?
What the f?
Margaret's underwear was not just torn, but completely ripped from her body. Her bloody nightgown and bra were pushed up around her upper body. Fearing the implications, crime scene investigators swabbed all of Margaret's clothing.
What the fuck?
And the items in the closet. The results would once again emphasize how reprehensible this crime was.
Did she say anything to you when this was happening? Did you say anything to her?
No, it happened.
Happened quick.
The level of indignity Margaret's body was subjected to was further emphasized in the detective's conversation with Margaret's nephew, Howard.
And how many times did you guys go into the closet?
I went in twice. When we first got there, the first thing I did was open the closet, but I had to move that heater from in front of the door. It's never there.
Can you tell me how it positioned?
Oasis, eye for an eye. You know what? I bet you some inmates will probably agree with that.
All I had to do was put my fingers underneath the top lip, and I lifted it up and set it out of the way the first time I looked. And then I wanted to make sure, put it back the way it was, so I moved it back.
Howard said his wife Cindy also moved the heater twice to look in the closet for Margaret's coat to see if she might have left. However, the coat was found in the closet, though it wasn't on the hanger where it belonged. Howard's second foray into the closet was life-altering.
That's when I noticed the tennis shoe. So I tried to pick it up, I couldn't pick it up. I'm thinking, what's holding the shoe? So that's why I grabbed another piece of clothing and threw it back. And I've never seen this before in my life. White, and I touched it, it was cold, felt clammy, but felt like styrofoam to me. So I moved it.
You all right?
Give me a minute.
Yep.
So I moved another piece of clothing, and that's when I didn't go down like this, and I felt it upper part of the leg, and it felt the same way. I'm thinking, why she got styrofoam in here? What is it? And then it hit me.
So it took you a minute to realize that it was her in there?
Hell.
Yes, it did.
Margaret's other shoe was also found in the closet, carelessly thrown on top of her, along with other items from the closet. It appeared that Gavin had pulled items down at random in an effort to conceal the body, including a sweater and a vacuum cleaner.
That's when basically we left out.
Son of a devil.
Yeah. I've never seen. I'm sure you guys do all the time, but I've never.
Yeah, it's not something you get used to, and no matter how many times
No.
you see it.
And to me, it didn't look like flesh or skin.
Lady?
That's what-
Really, brother?
It took you a minute to realize what it was.
Oh yeah, then oh God.
Well, she didn't.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I know.
Bro,
She wasn't going to hear
bro.
about herself or covering herself up. I know that.
When Margaret's body was
you know,
removed
even though she's right, I don't think the guy wants to hear that. No.
from the closet, police made the skin-crawling discovery that she'd been laying on top of her torn underwear.
How long did you stay there before you put her in the closet?
That was probably like 30 minutes. I just kind of sat there and I didn't know like what was going on.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I
Maybe
was
completely
still
relating, sure.
in shock. And then I checked my phone and it said it was like 4 something And I knew my mom had to get up at 5 for work.
So then you,
What? Why am I
made the
lagging?
decision then? Did you look around for another place to, and then you drug her by her feet, you said, to the closet? What part of her body did you put in there first?
I think it was her head that went in first.
Did you, close the closet door? Did you put that heater in front of the door?
Yeah.
The closet where Margaret's body was found was only about 2 3/4 feet wide by 1 3/4 feet deep. In order to make her body fit, Gavin contorted and shoved her into the space, face down with her knees bent and arms folded.
And you didn't take her wallet. Nobody cares about the 60 or 80 bucks.
Yeah, nobody cares about anything in there.
This guy is so twisted.
We can throw in trash also. Which trash? At my house.
The trash was long gone by this point, but that didn't turn out to be an issue.
Yeah, they can
Police
get him
once
back
again
anyway.
involved Gavin's parents, who had followed the arrest team to the police station to help them with their investigation.
Okay, honey, listen. This is gonna be a weird request. I need you to take your brother and take him out of the house right now. I will explain later. Maybe go to Uncle David's and just hang there, and we'll call you when you
So,
come home.
I agree. Interrogation equals lose for these people, right? But it doesn't mean that they wouldn't be guilty if they had a lawyer and everything. It just means that probably they could get like a lower sentence or whatever because they're not gonna get what
Maybe
they want.
sometimes they can
No,
get
yeah,
away
it's
with
not
it.
regardless.
So don't tell your brothers right now.
Once
They get a
Gavin's
good
3
lawyer.
brothers were out of the house, the
It's a good
police
thing.
carried
These
out a
psychopaths,
search warrant.
they're
Their efforts
fucking
were not in
retarded.
vain. Tucked away in the back of a dresser drawer with Gavin's jeans, the police located Margaret's missing red wallet.
It's a good thing they're retarded.
Gavin confessed he'd spent all the cash on cigarettes, but Margaret's cards were all accounted for. However, the wallet wasn't the only item of interest.
The night you were out at Margaret's, had you drank or smoked anything? Done any drugs that night?
No, but I was actually sober that night. Which is another reason why I smoke weed and I drink. Because I can't handle myself.
Oh yeah, this parenting is trash. I'm telling you. This is even more points that the parenting is. I don't want to blame the lady too much. Trash parenting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Brother,
the only
the
way
fact that
you
he
end up like that.
Drinks a lot and smokes a lot, and the mom doesn't know, and she knows that he's a high risk kid. Forget it.
Like, comprehend.
I think he doesn't have a father, that's why.
To use. My thoughts when I'm sober are dark.
Single parent households
Like, good thoughts.
raise criminals.
Had you ever thought about harming anybody before or taking someone's life before?
Not like planning it out, but like, oh, I'm so mad I could go kill someone right now. Like that kind of thing.
Hold on, more pause. See, this argument, this shit, you could do everything right and your kid could still murder, please. You know what, dude? So, even though there is cases of that, right? The vast majority
One guide.
are not. This
Excuse
is
you, one
already
guy.
a high-risk kid that presented a bunch of different patterns, different things, different events. They have enough. So this is not some guy who was like doing some weird, like some psycho was doing some weird shit that nobody knows about, and it all came at once, right? This is some guy that gave hints of his behavior throughout almost his entire childhood. The lady knew, and he was still high risk and a massive liability, and still she was irresponsible. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're
You
insane.
never imagined yourself actually doing it?
No, I could never vision myself.
Gavin shared with the police that he had struggled with the urge to take his own life. He refrained, he said, for the sake of his mother, who would have been heartbroken.
There comes a point where there's an age where you can't fix it. It's too late to fix. Like this guy's 17. Probably when he turned 14, it was already too late. He already went down that path.
During their
Irreversible.
search, police came across a journal in his bedroom that would prove that once again, Gavin was not sharing the whole truth. The journal began with 2 research projects on the serial killers Donald Henry Gaskins and Ted Bundy. After this, the entries transitioned to ideas for skits and short films. Chillingly, in each one, Gavin played the role of a killer. The victim in almost every story was to be played by Braden. As skin-crawling as this was, the entries containing Gavin's personal thoughts were by far the most disturbing. In one, Gavin wrote, "I want to know what's wrong with me. Sometimes I just want to go off on someone and beat them until they're not breathing anymore. It's not even for attention or anything. I honestly want to take someone's life." In another entry, he wrote, "I don't feel empathy or sympathy for anybody. Like, I just don't give it."
Dude, stop defending dumb fucks.
But why?
Listen, I'm not saying the pain should go through people's journals, okay? But that's just one of the things that this guy did that represented that behavior and that pattern. You act as
Why is he like this?
People that he, like his friends or acquaintances. He doesn't release some form of dog. He doesn't give some sort of warning signs. Bro, these people are not like these crazy secretive, nobody knows, super meticulous. These people are fucking brain dead. They are not meticulous. You're stupid. Stop it.
You never told your counselor about any of the thoughts that you have?
I do, and she didn't. She started with trying to treat the depression first. But that's the thing. I don't know if this can be fixed. Because it doesn't feel like it's some regular emotion. This feels like it's natural, and I don't want it to be. Anything can be fixed. Yeah.
Gavin had been in counseling on and off for years and was diagnosed with ADHD and depression. Another entry Gavin made in his journal highlighted his depravity. He wrote, "I think if counseling doesn't help, I'm honestly going to kill someone. I'll probably take a girl out to the woods and rape her and kill her. I wouldn't feel bad about it, but I know it's wrong." We might never know exactly how much Gavin told his counselor, but he appears to have been very upfront with his coworker Haley. Haley shared a Snapchat conversation with police in which Gavin told her flat out, quote,
"Boom, checkmate. I don't give a fuck. Boom, boom. This video, every time there's a new scene in this video, it proves it right. I
There
told
was so
you,
much
the guy
evidence.
lets people on this shit,
Holy.
talks about this shit, gives hints, signs everywhere, dude. That is absolutely unhinged. People not noticing it, not doing shit. The mom not fucking picking up and doing shit. Ridiculous, dude.
I watched one of those videos on YouTube and I laughed, and I'm pretty sure I could kill someone in cold blood and not feel guilty or sad or anything. Chillingly, when police spoke with Haley, she told them that she had no problem believing the despicable things Gavin had done to Margaret, but police still hadn't uncovered the full story.
So what did you do with your gloves when you left?
I threw those away
Where at?
in the trash can.
At home. Is there the glove there? Could you have dropped one?
There wasn't one there. I guess I did drop one back.
Gavin said the gloves just happened to be with him from when he cleaned the bathroom at home several days earlier. However, it wasn't the presence of the gloves that police were most interested in. There was something far more disturbing that they had discovered.
Something far more
There
sinister.
was purple stuff on it. What was the purple stuff that was on there? I get it that there's a whole piece of this that you don't understand.
The
why.
blueberry jam. Remember that?
I understand the whole piece that you
It
don't
all comes back
understand.
together.
Bro?
Did the purple stuff have to do with the whole piece that you don't understand why you do? No.
No, the purple stuff was that jelly. I don't even know
I'm gonna let them explain. I'm not gonna try to think what's
where
gonna
that
happen.
came into play at.
I'm not even reading chat. I don't
Did
give a
you
fuck.
maybe use it like kind of as a lubricant or something?
Is it a part you don't understand, or is it a part just
Young man?
embarrassing? In your own mind.
Young
You know
man.
what I mean, in your own mind. Because it's okay.
None of this is
Well, it's not okay. I'm saying we understand if it's an embarrassing part. Since you're not sure, we understand that part. You know what I mean? It's okay that we understand it that way.
Something I don't understand, I guess.
You didn't have any.
It's a good thing that he tells them it's okay.
You put the jelly on the glove.
They're not helping him. They're getting more time on him.
Yeah.
This vile post-mortem assault was the nauseating reason the blackberry jam was found in the living room. Testing on the jar revealed the presence of male DNA, though it could not be matched specifically to Gavin. Similar testing revealed Margaret's DNA on the outside of the gloves and Gavin's on the inside, along with evidence of sperm. Male DNA was also found on her ripped underwear, and still the horror continued.
Is that the same time that you were taking some of those pictures?
Yeah, after I took those pictures, I'm like, what?
That's when the shock set in?
Yeah, it's like, what am I doing?
Yet Gavin still continued taking pictures. In addition to taking photographs of Margaret while she slept, unaware of the danger, he also documented the revolting process of violating her dead body.
You know, there's a couple of videos of you kind of peeking over the edge of the couch and videotaping her. When was that all done?
That was on the same night. Why did I lie about anything? That was stupid. Like, I turned the corner and didn't see her.
And you hid?
And yeah, then I hid and I, was taking my phone. I was taking pictures to see if she was awake.
I got you.
And then...
And she saw you?
And we stood up and she saw me.
All of the photos and videos of Margaret were discovered in a hidden app on Gavin's phone, labeled Dark. It was password protected with the word murder. As if that wasn't enough, something else police found on Gavin's phone only solidified the case against him.
Boy, how
the
they open
Margaret's
it
body
then?
was found.
They probably
Chris
guessed.
Ramsey
That's an
sent a
easy
text
guess.
to her son, alerting him of the police presence in their
What a
neighborhood,
dumbass.
which said they're looking for someone. Gavin's
I'm guessing
casual
brute force,
reply
yeah, if it's
of,
that simple,
well,
yeah.
that's Wadsworth for you, was undercut by the fact that he then immediately looked up Margaret
FBI
Douglas
hackers.
dead and Margaret Douglas, Wadsworth, Ohio. He deleted the search history, but forensic technicians were able to recover the information. Damningly, at the time of Gavin's search, Margaret's death had not yet been publicized. There was only one horrible way he could have known why the police were there and what had happened.
Did you mean him? To hurt Margaret like that?
No.
Stop lying.
No.
Please note that at this point, the male detective stepped out for a moment, leaving Gavin alone with the female detective.
Are you sorry this happened?
Yeah, I'm really sorry that I did all of this.
He's gonna try to run away.
Were you sorry about all of this before you got caught?
No, he's not.
Yeah,
He's
I
not.
constantly, I think about it a lot, and I feel bad about what I did.
He only regrets being
I-
caught. He's not sad that he
I
did it.
feel
He's
bad.
sad that he got caught.
I know it's wrong, but I can't express the emotion.
Once again, Gavin's journal suggested a far more wicked truth. He wrote, "I don't care that I feel the way I do, but I need counseling before I completely go off the deep end and do something that literally ruins my life. I wouldn't feel bad if I killed someone, but I don't want to sit in fucking prison."
If she was here alive in front of you, what would you say to her?
I'm sorry. That was never meant to happen. If I could take it back, I would.
There's a subtle upward inflection when Gavin says, "I'm sorry." His monotonous and emotionless tone is a stark contrast from earlier. It appears he can cry for himself, but not others. Still, Gavin seemed to find something else far more troubling than the life he took.
I think if my dad sees me, he's gonna go to freaking jail because.
I don't agree with that. It's not how that works.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's gonna ruin our family name.
Gavin's parents waited in the lobby of the police station for the duration of their son's interrogation. To say they were distraught when the police broke the news that their son was a killer would be an understatement.
All the phone contained images of Margaret before and after her death, as well as videos of your son with her.
Okay.
With her, engaging in sex with her.
Was she still alive when he was doing that?
No, I don't believe.
Oh my God. This isn't happening. This isn't real.
I'm trying to be respectful. I'm not saying anything so far, but this lady,
Bad parenting.
I want you to know, I spoke to the director of the juvenile detention facility. I explained the situation. I explained that he was highly emotionally distraught. I asked him to watch.
Okay.
I'm telling you, she is not that surprised, and it's not that far out of the possibilities of what she thought her son was capable of. I'm gonna be rude and just if I can assume that.
Yeah, you're probably right, XCC.
24/7 observation.
Okay.
I know this is an emotion.
That doesn't just happen
I'm being out of
randomly.
bad faith and I'm being rude. Sorry.
It's a horrible set of circumstances. You deserve to know.
It doesn't just happen. You're not just born like that.
Oh my God! Oh my! At 98 years old. Just.
Could have been prevented.
Another day. And here's my son. My son. And my mother, all these people out here, and it's my son.
I know they're in shock and denial, but
Does Gavin understand?
I'm being bad faith. I told you, it's not logical.
Incidentally, Gavin was wondering the same thing.
What do you think's even gonna happen with me?
I think you're gonna go to juvenile detention.
I hope he gets full life.
You're gonna do some time in jail.
How long do you think?
1,000 years.
I just don't know, Gavin.
I'll be honest. This Saturday, like just 5 days from now, I was gone. I was leaving.
Oh.
You're gonna run?
Because the only reason I didn't yesterday.
I'm leaving and
I
I'm
knew my
coming
mom
back.
just took out
Like a
my
little kid.
insurance. And I knew my insurance doubled, so I had like no money.
Well, Gavin, I'm glad it's gonna stop here. I'm glad this didn't go any further. Because I don't know that you would have been able to change on your own.
No, it wouldn't, and I
Dude,
don't know, I had a pretty.
the death penalty in my opinion, is bad. Okay, I'll tell you why. Death penalty is bad. I'll actually agree with you on that point. One
It
chat
makes it
ready,
easy
'cause
for him.
It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's the easy way out. These people cause a lot of eternal pain on a lot of people. A bunch of people that are linked to what they do. Bunch of people, and they get off instantly.
Yeah.
Picture
Hell
what
no.
the next year looks like if I ran.
Unfortunately, I think you would have hurt more people. Was that in your plan?
I mean, that wasn't in my plan, but I could see that happening.
On January 18th, 2019, Gavin was convicted of aggravated murder, aggravated burglary, kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. He was given a life sentence for murder, along with 10 years each for burglary and kidnapping, and an additional year for kidnapping to be served consecutively. Originally, he was meant to serve life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Oh, come
but
on.
changing legislation for minors who were tried as adults
Again.
renders Gavin eligible for release after 25 years in 2043.
Yeah, I think this is the third video that this was the outcome. I think legislation has changed.
That's
in
so
almost,
weird.
I guess all states, because otherwise it'd be a coincidence that almost all of them were in states that changed. I guess it's like most of them changed.
North America, rest in peace.
I still think that things shouldn't apply retroactively. I think that's
Guys, make sure to subscribe
I think that's how all things
to
should
be part of the 0.1%.
Do something at a time where things
0.01%.
are like that. It's a snapshot of what life is at that current time. Therefore, you get the consequences for what that is, regardless. That's just that's how I see it. You might think it's a bad take. If I tell you this is a crime, don't do it, and you do that, you know you're engaging in a criminal activity. You know you're being a criminal, right? If I say a year later, well, we don't think this is a crime anymore. Why would I let you out?
What the
You're
hell?
a criminal. You're not somebody who doesn't do crime. You're a criminal. Even though it was a crime and that was not anymore, you committed into a criminal thing.
She's gonna start yapping for 25 minutes.
It's a pattern of behavior. I don't care what crimes. Fuck that, dude. Fuck what do I care? Something